And welcome everyone to Summoner's Rift for the first game of the Swedish League today of this 2-game series. Already, we do have 3Lanes Esports on that blue side, like we said, and then on the red, Invulnerables coming out onto the Rift. And already on this first game, some cheese coming out of 3Lanes Esports.
For sure, and you like to see it here. They don't necessarily have the best level 1 composition, especially against the likes of that Thresh coming out from Wixu over here, but oh, they might have found Wixu.
Oh, they know this move. They're looking at it, but only an auto attack and an empowered Q comes out, tags Wixu or Barrel, and that had to be a good read. Because that definitely looked like they read a playbook out of Invulnerables and said, all right, we'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, it's not every day that you see, a solo support just hiding in the bush there. Usually, you've got the 5-man start, and there's no invade path from there either. We saw Zolasi coming from lane, from bush to bush. So definitely looks like they did their prep here and did spot them out. So great play from them. It doesn't net them anything, but honestly, just the fact that they can do that is going to weigh on them psychologically as well, knowing that their playbook might have been read. We are seeing both tank junglers starting their blue buffs here. And kind of makes sense. They want the blue buffs to be able to clear a little bit faster, look to get ganks. And what I'm curious to see is when you've got two tank junglers like that, are we going to see those ganks coming out? Or are we just going to see straight power farming, look for 6 where they get those big team fight ultimates available here? And I feel like a lot of that will come down to the lane pressure that comes out in the early game.
Yep, just exactly what you want to look for, as Boundless has a little trouble soaking up some of this CS. Actually went for the W first, so doesn't have that Q to poke early.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if that comes back to bite them here. And already we're seeing Loftition just punishing QD a little bit. This is what you can kind of expect when you see an Irelia mid. If you are running a standard mage style AP mage in the mid lane, or even an assassin, the Irelia can definitely look to constantly aggress, punish, and stick onto you doing the damage here. That's why we're seeing the exhaust come out from QD to try and make sure that if Loftition all ins, there's less kill potential, and we might see an invade here from the jungler.
Oh, and Scroody's full health. Nigerian Star does a little dance and is actually going to go back in. I'm not sure if he wants to do this because Loftition actually has priority on the mid, but lots of good damage as Cutie rotating with these auto attacks. One of the power points of an Orianna, able to trade down good damage, which forces Loftition to burn some of those corrupting potions.
Yeah, and the other thing you have to note too is Amumu is the premier tank jungler for a reason. Already at these early levels, the Despair and Tantrum alone will be enough to actually beat out most other tank junglers because it is percent health damage. So you already have a rough fight, and then you don't have priority because Loftition hasn't shoved in hard enough yet. That's not what you want to see if you are Scrooty. That being said, it will cost Scrooty quite a bit of time and CS here. So we already see, a significant CS discrepancy come out of the jungle. It looks like 6 CS, but jungle creep are more valuable in general. So that definitely is going to hurt quite a bit.
Anyone that's played League of Legends knows that if you fall behind to an Aurelia, you're just not going to have a good time. It's just not fun whatsoever. So we'll see how that plays out. And again, Scripter on this bottom side actually took a lot of punishment, and we now see Scooty trying to break that freeze, but Nigerian Star is ready to go. Flash forward and flash from Loftition, and a turnaround by Scooty. Remember, Scooty is full health. Stun does miss though, but they get the root and lockdown, and would you know it, Scooty takes a solo kill. Cutie gets one back in return. But that is a rough go as a flash forward and an auto attack misses. That's gonna be a flash difference as all summoners are blown from the mid and junglers as a heavy duel comes out to a 1-for-1.
And I love to see this from the junglers here. A lot of early aggression here and into the mid lane as well for the side here of the Invulnerables. It makes sense to punish that mid lane. You want to get Loftition hit. Like you said, when an Irelia gets a hit, it's so painful to play into that lane there. So I like what they're doing from them. And the fact that Nigerian Star has correctly identified that, trying to help QD out, is great. The fact that Nigerian Star went down sucks a little bit, but he's going to be okay. He can continue farming up. And the fact that they give the kill over to QD is great because now QD can try and match the damage. The early Seeker's arm guard is going to be huge for QD here. The sheen from Loftition is going to hurt, but over some time, get a bit more armor and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I think the armor base actually for Seeker's Arm Guard is much higher than what it used to be. I think you get an extra Previously it was only, I think, 30 armor, and now it's up to about 45. If I'm calculating that right. So a lot of people are saying it's one of the most overpowered components currently that an AP caster can have in that mid lane. Wixu trying to dance down on this pink ward and take some punishment for it as well.
Yeah, and they're just setting up here. You know, the Drake is up, and they want to make sure that they secure a lot of priority in the mid lane.
That's going to be a toss in, as that's an easy collapse. Never test a support's patience, as they are going to be run out. And Vulnerables are showing why they're good, but a flash flank is going to be in, as a triple taunt means that 3Lanes Esports have turned this around. A flash forward from Boundless means he collects that one up. He is now 1-0-1 as Wixu is on the run. A flash forward into the tether is going to root down the Thresh. Another pick is there, but the bindings have gone through. A hook over the wall means Wixu is followed as Zolazi taunts over the wall. Scripter now not in the right position. An empowered Q and a tether means he is going to be rooted, and a triple root to go is going to keep him down. He has to flash, he has to heal, burns the heal first. Might actually go down, and he does! He dies with flash up. Invulnerables drawing blood, but getting cut in return means that they are down 2 kills in a very scrappy fight.
And that looked like it was starting so well here for the side of Invulnerables. You know, they catch Cutie, they catch Nigerian Star, but unfortunately for them, Fyrax did not match the teleport from Zolazi, and Zolazi was absolutely massive in that fight. You know, the taunts and all of that as well to be able to follow up, just turn that. So that was good play from Zolazi. Fyrax did get a level lead in the top lane, got a whole bunch of CS as well, and we'll have to see if that trade is worth it, because you gave up 2 or 3 kills, potentially even 4 if you actually think about it there. So they have to make good on that.
Oh, but here we go. Another one in the bottom lane. And this time it's 3Lane Esports that get the initiative. Nigerian Star shows up, punishes that bot lane attempt. And so far, Nigerian Star is reading Scrooty like a book.
Yeah, and this is, you know, why they're so comfortable with this particular composition. The Karma shields, the Senna heals, and you've got Nigerian Star who's so tanky, already able to tank things up with just the Bami Cinder here, not even the full Sunfire Aegis. And while Bami Cinder did get nerfed, it was the damage component of it, not the health component. So Amumu is still tanky, and now they pick themselves up the Mountain Drake. It's just going to feel so much worse here. 6% doesn't sound like a lot, but again, when you've got 2 tanks who are just building straight sort of tank items here, that ends up feeling really, really good for your team. And now it's on Invulnerables to try and make some plays happen, because it feels like they're just falling behind, and this might be a good start here.
Yeah, Zolazi doesn't have flash, gets rooted up into the stasis field. They're going to run this under the tower. I believe one more zap will take it, as Fyrax gets his first and actually almost dies, but still, again, has a decent bit of wave clear, easily picks that one up. And that is going to be on the board for Fyrax on this Victor top.
Yeah, and while Invulnerables have felt on the back foot, this is a good proactive play, and we shouldn't count them out their solo lanes just yet either. Because Fyrax, like we said, he did get a whole bunch of CS, is now pretty even, did get a bit more experience as well, and Victor really can take over a game. Just needs a couple of items, you know, once that Lich Vein is complete, once he's got, you know, 1 or 2 upgrades, you know, on his Hex Tech core there, his glorious evolution as it's called now, pardon me, you know, he really starts to come online and can do a lot in team fights, can burst the target down as well. And Optician in the mid lane is still strong, but we're getting another fight in the bot lane.
Yes, we are. Wixu tries his best to hold off, but the teleport is going to come in. The call from Victor might not be where he wants, as Nigerian Star says, hey, you're a squishy, you're not a strong top laner. He falls and burns his teleport as well, so Fyrax makes a mistake, costing his team there. And now we're going to see a shockwave land only onto Wixu, but that's all they need. Scripter trying to run away. He still has his flash available. That's going to be a flash ulti. That's another kill. Double kill picked up for Cutie, as that is a massive rotation from 3Lanes Esports. This team is firing on all cylinders.
And what a clean play in that bot lane there. Started off, you know, with a great tether from Lagan on this Karma. It really feels like Karma's not exactly super meta right now. She's pretty good, but Lagan just makes her look so broken here, and now they might catch out Loftishan.
Yeah, but that was a taunt whiffed, so Zolazi has to back away. Scrooty might try and run interference, but Zolazi takes the safe route, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah, and while that was happening, Scrudy did manage to pick up the Herald. It was a bit of a consolation prize to that 3 kills, to that dive in the bot lane as well. And they could potentially set up a dive. They've got 3 in the mid lane right now, but Nigerian Star is now here, and Scrudy is going to get spotted.
Yes, he is, and they're forced to dive. That's going to be the ultimate landing and the double stun into the hook, but they can't follow. Don't want to take that chance as Loftician is trying to clear that wave as quickly as possible. Rift Herald was dropped mid, so they'll take the 2 plates and walk away, but having some trouble here. Invulnerables not living up to their name so far.
Yeah, it looks like they are showing, some chinks in that invincible armor they've shown so far here. And we already said it before the game, when 3Lane Esports looks like the team to do it here. They are in second place, sole second place, challenging for that top. And really, it's only been Granite and Invulnerables who've been just completely dominating here. So I'm glad to see that 3Lanes is really able to contest, but we need to draw attention to the fact that despite the fact that they seem to be running the map, despite that they're up 5 kills here, they're only 700 gold up. So Invulnerable still is showing great strength and resilience in their lanes here, Firex and Loftician especially. And I just keep drawing attention back to them because we're still waiting for these first mythics. When, that Ludens comes out for Firex most likely, when we see that Trinity Force for Loftician, the lanes are going to get really tough all of a sudden here for QD, for Zolazi. The wave clear coming up from Firex can keep Zolazi permanently shoved under turret as well. And Firex has already done a ton of damage to that top lane turret without Herald, so they could potentially still pick up first turret, and that would just even up the gold score here.
It really would. Again, 4 plates to, I think, 2 on the bottom side. Just not, doesn't give you a huge advantage if you're just going for kills. But this is a sneaky jump in. Screwed. He has so far always had to play reactive, trying to go for that aggressive gank. Be a little bit quiet.
Nigerian Star's coming.
And that's a flash hook missing. And here comes Nigerian Star. He's ready for it once again. That's going to be the Dawning Shadow grabbing Wixu's soul. Revenge of the Senna means 2 fall as Scrudy is left to tell the tale.
Boundless on this center. That was a beautiful last embrace there. Caught 2 and Scrudy went in, but there was no follow-up whatsoever. Got rooted right away. And Scrudy, I'm not sure you wanted to take that over the wall there.
Oh. If you've ever seen a tank afraid of a mage, that was it. Well played by QD, drawing that flash out. Yes, 3Lanes Esports will lose that top side, but they will gain their second dragon, and would you know it, an ocean drag to top it off. They're going to have so much regen and armor, their defenses will be immaculate.
And I'm not even sure that Firex is going to be able to get this turret either, because we do see Zolazi already heading back to lane, and he takes a detour into the jungle. I think they might have sniffed up Scrudy here, but they're coming in, and now Scrudy has to try and find his way out.
Yep, they're dancing as best they can, but Wixu, no, Wixu's on the wrong side of the map. He's doing his best. Oh, supports feels so bad. You can't even hate him for that. He is. Scrudy, this is going to be bad. Oh, no. No, he knows. He knows. Is there any chance? Scrudy doesn't even get the blue buff. He's going to run away. Double blue buffs on the side of 3Lane Esports. Has to burn the ultimate just to keep himself alive, but the bandage toss makes it work again. That is going to be a second kill for a Nigerian Star, and all of a sudden, 3Lane Esports say we are going to be second place from here on out.
Yeah, and that was just brutal there. Scrudy being a little greedy, and Scrudy and Firex so far have not been punished for the greed they've shown in the top side of the map so far. They've just invaded whenever they want to. Whenever a fight breaks on the bot lane, they can't join, they just pressure. And that's not a bad decision, but you have to watch the time, how long that was. I mean, the fight was over in the bot lane for quite a while, and Scrudy was still in there just farming like it's his own jungle, but he has no backup, and that came around to bite them this time. And before, they were up about 5 kills. Now they're up about 9 kills, almost double that. And the gold lead now, 2K, is significant. Ocean Drake going down is also really going to hurt them quite a bit here, because the sustain is already so strong in the various lanes. You've got shields in literally every single lane here. And now you also have Ocean Drake to continue regenning them up. That's absolutely brutal. And I want to point out right now, Boundless on, I think it's 43 stacks here right now. Is going to just get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. 5-0 and 6 has not been punished at all throughout the game, and it's really been on Lagan backing up Boundless here, just doing so much damage, so much shielding And as they keep getting range, I don't think there's anybody who can really reach them here in these team fights.
And would you know it? Of all things, even the game is saying they want 3Lanes Esports to win. Cloud Drake and Cloud Soul will be coming up, which means the Wombo Combo squad gets a little extra help with 20% extra CDR if they get the dragons.
Yeah, and they also get movement speeds, and now Loftishan has to be careful. Nigerian Star is looking for something here, and he finds Scripter.
He finds two as Scruty went over the wall. Immediate flash and a taunt to follow means Nigerian Star finds his third. That's going to be a root under the towers. Loftishan trying to hold off this push, as that was a beautiful catch. Nigerian Star playing assassin in the enemy jungle.
And Scripter must be screaming right now. So Lazi is the one looking like he's scripting with the Stand United. Every time he's used it, they've killed the bot lane every single time. So Lazi's been so on point with the Stand United. They do lose first turret, but they're able to find one in the bot lane and potentially another in the mid. Well, actually, they decide to rotate up. They're looking for Fire Axe here.
Yeah, they are, and he is alone. Sad, but Scruty is here. Doesn't burn the flash yet, but that's going to be the follow-up into the taunt. It's just a combination of CC. They pull it off as Lagan is trying to run away, is going to fall, as now Nigerian Star and Solazi have to get away. Looks like Nigerian Star will pay with his life, but look at the damage he's still doing. Shutdown actually to Wixu, not exactly who you want it to go to.
That's a little rough there. I mean, one of your treasured kills and it goes that way. They will be able to rotate onto this Herald though, have priority on that, and shutting down Nigerian Star, you know, that is a huge deal as well. Because we've seen that for 3Lane Esports, it is Nigerian Star who often kicks their action off for them here on this Amumu. So having him shut down, taken down, buying them a bit more time, that's a good play, and that will stifle 3Lane Esports at least for that death time here. But that is still cold and scant comfort for the side of Invulnerables. The Trinity Force is completed. Ludens as well now picked up. But you saw the damage come up from Firex. Yes, he could burst down Lagan, but the damage is doing to Zolazi and Nigerian Star at this point is not feeling too good. And we can expect to see, you know, potentially Demonic Embrace coming out here. And that stacking MR is just going to make Firex feel worse, as well as increase that damage. That is that sort of 2-item spike that Amumu can look to take Baron on. So it just feels like they're falling behind here. And Invulnerables need to start being proactive. That top lane fight still felt very reactive. That was Lagan going very aggressive there. And Invulnerables, you know, the reactive play is not really working out yet. I want to see them pick fights, you know, try and punish on their own terms.
Punish on their terms is the correct response, because, again, it's not about the kills. It's about what you get out of those kills. It's about what you can do with that pressure, because at the end of the day, if you can't get anything, it's just a little extra gold. Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane. 4 members rotating around this dragon, so looks like Invulnerables are at least still somewhat in AC. It's going to be the double stun, though, coming across the board. Shockwave lands on 2, and they find the fight that they want. Down goes Scripter. Wixu once again. Loftishan is going to be the third. No, takes one with him before he falls. Fireaxe going to get rooted into the Dawning Shadow, taken down to about a 1/5 of his health bar. Scruty still on the backside, but a 3-for-1 might possibly net 3Lanes Esports a third dragon.
Scooty's trying to go for the hero play here, but Zolazi's there trying to zoom him out, and they just hold on right there.
Yeah, very heroic attempt, just not going to follow through. Unfortunately, misses that Dragon Smite. And again, this is the power of the Wombo combo. I think someone said it best a long time ago, is CC wins games. And this is that saying, literally.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just such easy CC as well. That fight was pretty much one of the best fights Invulnerables could have hoped for. They dropped Shelly mid lane for the push. That was great. You know, they get pressured. They just have to stall. And the engage from Nigerian Star came out onto the 2 tanks, Scruty and Wixu there. But even then, it just didn't work. A great shockwave from Cutie catches Scripter. And I guess, you know, Scripter's scripts aren't working. The preseason patch broke a lot of things, and I guess his script was one of them there, because he's just been getting caught time after time after time. 0-5-1 right now on Scripter. And that's with Wixu throwing his body in the way, trying to soak up all the damage, all the CC. Wixu's 1-6-4 right now. And even then, it doesn't matter. Scripter keeps getting caught, keeps getting found. And Fireaxe and Loftishan just so far aren't able to get in the fight. And if you lose that fight, when that's the best setup you could hope for a 5v5, you simply cannot win any 5v5. You have to pretty much surrender Baron here, barring a hero play from Scrooty that actually goes right. You just need to punish somewhere else. I think for Baron, which is up right now, Invulnerables might just want to sack it and try and push out lanes instead. Try and get some turrets, because so far, any team fight has not worked out for them, and this right now is 3Lane Esports' strongest spike right now. Demonic Embrace is completed for Nigerian Star. Their AoE is looking disgusting, and Boundless might not be vulnerable, but he sure is godlike.
Just a powerhouse of an ADC, still trying to complete, I believe, that man immune. But again, 2 towers to 2, 3 dragons to none, 21 minutes into the game, and it just looks like 3Lanes Esports game to lose.
Yeah, and you know, Boundless stacking this mana immune, a lot of people have said the mana immune feels a lot weaker, you know, in the current sort of state of the game, but Boundless is doing enough damage here. And even though Boundless has picked up the kills, 7, 0, and 9, the bulk of the damage actually isn't coming out from Boundless. I'd be interested to look at the damage scores after this game, because Nigerian Star feels like, you know, that Amumu going in, sure, they nerfed Bami's Cinder a little bit and all the resulting tank items from that item, but it doesn't matter, because a lot of his damage is coming out from percent health, from the Demonic Embrace, from his Despair, and Cutie. One of the unsung heroes in the game so far. The shockwaves have been on point right now and have been just absolutely shredding Scripter in the backline, zoning out Fire Axe as well. And it just feels like that burst damage is doing more right now than Boundless's more consistent damage on this Senna, though the Senna heals have been absolutely obnoxious. And that's one of the reasons why Invulnerable has been struggling to find kills. You might be invulnerable and might not die that much, but if you can't kill the enemy team, it doesn't count for much at all. And they just don't have the damage at this point. Dragon's still not up for 2 minutes. I expect to see 3 lanes set up for this Baron right now, because they are struggling a little bit to push in with these tank compositions. It's great in open ground in team fights, but for pushing into turrets, it's struggling a little bit here.
Yeah, just a little bit, and that's allowing time for both Loftician and Firex to keep farming up. Again, they're the 2 ones that we want to watch, considering their CS leads are absolutely massive. Mid lane about 30 and top lane about 50 difference. I mean, these guys have been power farming, hoping to scale towards that 2 or 3 item power spike.
Yeah, and you know, we've been watching this for a while, and so far they haven't made it work. The Lich Bane is completed on Fire Axe, so this is that Victor power spike where you can both, you know, clear waves as well as one-shot champions here. Loftician opting for the Blade of the Ruin King will help shred through some of these tanks as well, and that is one thing Loftician has been struggling with, is finding that back line. So I like the pickup here to try and cut through Zolazi and Nigerian Star, and this is where they can test it out. Zolazi pushing out a little bit, and we have Scrooty and Loftician here looking to find a kill.
I mean, let's look. As a team of 4, that's going to be all 4 members zooming in on Zolazi, and Scripter finally picks up 1, able to collect a shutdown of, I think, about an extra 150 gold right there. So they're going to be happy about that pickup, being able to finally get a little bit of gold back in their pocket.
Yeah, and you can see how quickly Zolazi went down there as well. So that Blade of the Rune King, you know, doing a bit of work, and that 4th shot from Scripter does hurt. The Eclipse there, the Serrated Dirk, it feels like it's a little bit late into the game, but that is still a bunch of lethality here. And Zolazi actually didn't spec too heavily into the armor, did instead go for the Spirit Visage. So that's MR, not armor. He was itemized against Fire Axe, not Scripter there. So great play from them. But look, they find a pick, and what do they get at the back of it? Nothing. All they did was get a kill. Dragon is still going to go the way of 3Lane Esports here. There's no vision whatsoever, no setup. Instead, they set up for that Baron vision, which isn't the priority, and they can't steal it either. So finding isolated kills, great. That's a start to the game. But if you can't find anything else on the back of that, all you're doing is really stalling the game out. And like I said, I'm not sure you outskill the Senna. You do have good picks. Yes, Amumu kind of falls off a little bit, but the percent health damage is always going to be relevant.
Yeah, you shouldn't exactly be starting the game at about 25 minutes into the match. It's just not a good thing to have happen. Nigerians start dancing on top of a couple wards as everyone is rotating to this Baron. A flash forward means a Lantern pulls the flash out of Nigerian Star. That's actually a pretty big summoner coming up for this Baron.
Definitely, and we have seen Nigerian Star not afraid to use that flash to get in aggressively there. And that's another big spell burnt. The Shockwave does not find Fire Axe. This is the good setup for Invulnerables they are looking for, but we've seen what happens before. Good setup is not enough. They need to play this to perfection here.
Yeah, if they want to make a play, this is it. Oh, another ultimate! This is the chance that they've been wanting. That's going to be an immediate jump up by Invulnerables. They get a multi-man root, and Adani Shadow does nothing. They clean it up. The damage is there. Scrooty jumping all the way to the backline, trying to clean it up all the way, and he gets taunted out. That's going to be the shields coming all the way through, and Scrooty running away with 1 HP of health. Zolazi able to flash away from the stun, but is going to run right back into the fight. Wixu goes down, Barrel is taken out, but Scripter coming out with the big 4 shots, flashes forward, gets a bouncing grenade, only gonna do a tad of damage, but it jumped right in. Nigerian Star says, nah, you want to keep playing? Let's go, buddy. They're gonna quickly run away, though, as that was an immaculate fight, but still at a loss for the side of Invulnerables Esports.
Yeah, 3 for 2. It is a loss, and I don't even think there were shutdowns to be collected, because unfortunately, Nigerian Star and Boundless, the two who are carrying the huge bounties, did not get caught at all in that fight, and they just managed to pump out the damage. So I'd still call that kind of a win for Invulnerables here, because they need to try and find gold wherever they can find. And more importantly, you know, they did manage to fight back. The last time we saw them fight, it was a 4-for-1. Definitely a much better trade this time. And I want to point out that Scrooty on this tank Sejuani is just not having the impact that we're seeing from Nigerian Star. Did opt to go Warmog's second item, and that just doesn't match the damage from a Demonic Embrace. When you're behind, you want to build damage here, because you're not trying to stem the bleeding so much as trying to find kills of your own. If you trade even, that's a win. So Scrooty just not as big a threat as Nigerian Star, or even Zolazi right now, just diving that back line, able to put out quite a bit of decent damage in these fights. It does extend the game, though, and the Baron dance goes on. Elder will be coming up in 3 minutes, though, so if they don't fight a big fight at Baron, then you're going to be at a choice. Is it going to be Elder? Is it going to be Baron? And for the side of 3-Lane Esports, they can pick and choose what they want to trade here.
They really can, and I had to bring it up, right? Because it wasn't so much Invulnerables finding a perfect fight. It was more on the side of unforced errors coming out of 3Lanes Esports, right? So my question coming into the rest of this match is, was that nerves on them? Are they getting sloppy, or do you think that was just a one-time fluke in this match?
Honestly, it's a bit, I think a little bit of both. More than nerves, I think it was a little overconfidence on the Vulnerable side here. They let all these power picks for 3-Lane Esports through. The Orianna, the Karma, the Amumu, we know what they want, and they've got to try and do something. They actually do force them off Baron here, which is absolutely massive that they do manage to do that. Teleport is available for both top laners in the bot lane right now. Shen Stan United is there as well, and the vision right now is strong for Invulnerables in that Baron pit. Does need to be cleared up, but that they can force out is good. And I think for the side of 3Lanes right now, they're fishing. They might need to get a kill before they feel comfortable to go for Baron, but they've shut out the vision, and that's step 1.
Just as quickly as they warded up, they have not, and Scripter is going to be found and hooked. That is the power of the shadows. They claim another victim. They even burned the Stan United a little bit overcompensation, but I mean, overcompensation did get them the kill on Scripter, the one champion that they were worried about in that last fight, and they go immediately to this Baron.
If it gets you a kill, if it gets you the game, there's no such thing as overkill. They found Scripter. You know, there's only really Fire Axe for that consistent, safe backline damage now, and the Chaos Storm is ticking.
Oh, it was picked up by Nigerian Star, so they don't lose it, and a Shockwave in the backline lands on 2. That's gonna be Fire Axe going down, and Barrel has to run away. The cleanup is there, though, as Loftician actually picks one up, healing up quite a bit, but only claims 1 in response. They're going to fall multiple members down, as that is going to leave a 4-on-2 situation with Elder Dragon coming up in just 45 seconds.
They can just reset, look to buy. There's over 2,000 gold in pockets of most of the members of 3-Lane Esports. We're seeing big items come through. The Tiamat for Zolazi. He's got enough health already. He's just looking to find into the backline to do damage as well. A Spirit Visage for Nigerian Star here. That healing and shielding. When you've got the Stan United, you know, the Command Protect from QD, you've got the heals from Boundless and another shield from Lagan. These Spirit Visages are going to be so efficient on them here. And it's just looking like things are going from bad to worse. You said, Elder Drake is coming up 10 seconds right now, and 3Lane Esports is set up for it. Invulnerable, they have all their members up. They're running in, but all the ultimates are already back up here. 3Lane Esports, they've caught Wixu.
Oh my lord. Cutie said Barrel doesn't get to play, and I command it so. No support for this Elder Dragon. And it honestly looks like that's going to be the nail in the coffin as Invulnerables actually peel off.
They can't fight this here. Even 5v5, they'd struggle. And you've got Zolazi split pushing. And once again, the Stan Unite is available. He doesn't even need to teleport here. That's a combat ultimate there. It's a combat teleport effectively. Does get the turret before he's even punished, and you can see Scrooty's looking for this, but that's going to leave Scripter alone in the mid lane. And we've seen what happened when Scripter's alone here. Mid lane inner going to go down. They're looking to push in, and I expect that they get this inhibitor and push into the base on this push here.
I'm waiting for Nigerian Star just to say Scripter don't play by flash bandage tossing him. I just want to see it happen just to put, that final little touch on the cake. Because I think it'd be hilarious. Scripter is sitting at 2 and 6. Barrel is sitting at 1 and 8. And I think they're going to think twice about giving over this Amumu once again in game number 2. And thus far, we have our first possible blood drawn against one of the most commanding teams in this league.
Yeah, the first time we've seen Invulnerables, really fall here. And it's beautiful to watch in a way, and this is the last engage, the final stand.
Yeah, and I mean, that is going to be the Stan United coming through. Nigerian Star tanking all the damage. Scrooty immediately going out at 3. Man, ultimate means a 3-man Shockwave backline. Lotitian dancing on Boundless. Lotitian actually is dealing quite a bit of damage, but that's an easy cleanup for the Elder Dragon squad, as that is going to be 3Lanes Esports taking game number 1, the first one to take a win off of Invulnerables as they take the first game.